And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good morning, friends, family, and fellow futures traders. It's time for the market forecast for Friday, September the 9th. I'm John Hoagland. Thanks for trusting me with your time this morning. As always, we're going to focus on seeking accurate context, good risk management, and remaining patient in our trading today. No major economic numbers due out this morning. 9 o'clock, we do have the wholesale inventories preliminary number coming out. Probably not going to be very impactful, although we do have two talking Feds today. Evans at 9 o'clock Central and at 11 Central. We have Waller speaking. It's National Teddy Bear Day, so grab your teddy bears and let's do the forecast. U.S. stocks are set to open higher again, possibly ending the first week in 4 in higher territory as investors accept and price in higher U.S. rates. We started this week talking about the short memory of traders, and here it is. We got some decent open interest. We are coming into rollover in the equities, currencies, and crude oil, or energies as well. So we'll take a look at what's going on with those. The dollar dropped yesterday and today over 1%, almost 2% at times. Some calling it a correction in the U.S. dollar, but commodities, metals, currencies, all higher as a result. Bitcoin up 10% this morning. Crude and energies also higher with the dollar pullback. Taking a brief look here at the VIX is lower, about 3% at 2305. Dollar index 109. Up near almost 111 earlier in the week. It put a new 52-week high in a couple of days ago and has been coming off ever since. And the yield on the 10-year has pretty much settled right around 3.25%. As always, if you like what you see on the forecast, tell everybody and hit the lucky like button. Make sure that you feel free to share, comment, question, feedback, heckle, and love on the forecast. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get notified when we do go live. You say good morning to everybody. Yes, it is my birthday today. I was kind of hoping that would just fly by. So it is, I'll let you do the math. It's the 45th year of my adolescence. Yes, I am still a Toys R Us kid. I refuse to grow up. It's the 37th anniversary of my 21st birthday. So I started using the anniversary of my 21st birthday as my actual birthday. So I'm 37 today. I knew that, I would eventually grow up. I just... or maybe get older. I just thought it would take longer, but I appreciate everybody saying happy birthday this morning. Serenity Trader first in the room wins the prize, but Scott Saw was the one who ratted me out for my birthday. Scott, I don't know how you knew it was my birthday, but I really appreciate it. Dimitar, Orion, good morning. Theo, good morning. Good morning, Shaw. Good morning, my brother Rick. He's the one I thought would be the first to rat me out on my birthday. Frederico, the Scarlet Arachnid, the Red Spider. Good to see you this morning. Dark Kevin, Brody. Thank you on my 39th. Absolutely. Steve Cannon. Good morning. Hegel Matters. Thank you. How old? Well, I'll let you do the math. I didn't expect to get this old. Riv, thank you very much. Vince, thank you. Rob T, thank you. Terry, chilling with Dylan, thank you all very much. JD, thank you. Frederico, Borneo, thank you very much. Jan R, Three Lions Insight, Stephen Sieg, thank you very much. David and Marco, thank you all very much for the birthday thoughts and love. I missed a couple of here. I do apologize. Dead letter opener. Thank you very much, Sarah Hall. Thank you very much. Dan Trader, good morning. And we've got Unicus's quote for the day. I almost missed it. It is Capital Preservation Day. Absolutely, dead letter opener. Pipel's, good to see you. Dan Trader, thank you very much. Trading Research, everybody, again, thank you so much. Unicus's quote for the day. Don't worry about what the markets are going to do. Worry about what you're going to do in response to the markets. By Michael Carr. Thank you again for posting those, Unicus. I really enjoy them, and I know everybody does. Dimitar. Yes, thank you. Grim Reaper. Dimitar is telling me to call it an early day and pour a drink and have a good one today. You can't drink all day unless you start in the morning, but I'm probably going to hold off until the end of the day. I'm going to go out and have some dinner with some friends tonight. And it's also my daughter's birthday. My daughter, Sarah, is turning 25 today. Happy birthday, Sarah. She's always been my birthday buddy. She used to wrap herself in a blanket and put herself at my feet, and I'd have to open her up and say, look, it's a Sarah, just what I always wanted. So happy birthday to my little girl, Sarah. And happy birthday to everybody that's their birthday today. I know there's a few. I know it's Adam Sandler's birthday. Michael Bublé's birthday's today. Joe Theismann, and Hugh Grant also having a birthday today. So just to name a few. We had a major loss yesterday in the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, passing away after 70 years as the monarch at, what was she, 97? What a great life. What a great lady. I don't really know that much about her. I just feel like she was a very stabilizing person in the world for 70 years. And I know a lot of folks are going to miss her. Thank you all again very much for the birthday wishes. It's going to be a fun weekend. We're going to go downtown and spend the day with our daughter tomorrow. Of course, being 25, she's going to spend her birthday with her friends, and then she'll have time for us tomorrow. So we're looking forward to doing that. And I'm looking forward to seeing what these markets are offering today for us. Remember, everything just about is in rollover except for the currencies and the metals. Equities are due to roll Tuesday this coming week. Expiration, quadruple witching, will be Friday next week. Currencies scheduled to roll on Wednesday. Crude oil scheduled to roll on Thursday. So it's going to be a week full of rollovers next week. And we got to remember that just does change things just a little bit for us, right? Yeah, Rick is saying she was 96 years old. Yeah, she was 26 when she took the throne. What a run. What a run. What a life. I mean, the people that she knew, the things that she did, and the places that she saw, and just amazing. All right, enough about that. Let's jump into the charts. I think you've taken care of all the business here today, so grab your teddy bears and let's jump into the charts. Let's take a look and see what we're seeing, starting here with the daily in the S&Ps. All right, so we know it's rollover. I get that. We've been looking to see if we've been bringing in open interest off this low here, and we have been. Yesterday, we added 50,000 contracts overall in new business, new buyers, new activity here in the S&Ps on higher volume yesterday. The volume and the open interest is going to be blurred a little bit due to rollover. We lost 71,000 contracts in the September contract. Don't worry, volume is still bigger in the September contract. We'll check that out on Monday and Tuesday and let you know when we're going to switch to the December contract. We lost 71,000 in September, but we added 120,000 in the December contract. So that's an approximately 50,000 contract addition to open interest on an up day yesterday. Yesterday was a pretty good fight, and the buyers certainly won. So I think that we have kind of created a similar situation to where we were back here on the 19th of July. We added a whole bunch of open interest. We kind of ranged a little bit. Maybe we're going to fall into a range a little bit here due to rollover, and then we'll see where the market goes after that. But so far today, we've got the market opening out of balance from yesterday, and we've got the market opening with a gap. So the open interest and the volume yesterday is encouraging for longs. It does not appear that this rally is hollow, like we saw so many hollow rallies on the way down. This one and this one seems to be building open interest instead of cutting off open interest on up days. Take a look at the 30. So here's that day yesterday where we were overlapping to higher, value was overlapping to higher. We resolved the end of the day at or near the highs of the session, and we added a whole bunch of new open interest. That tells me again that there's more to this than just short covering. There's actual buying coming into the market, similar to what it did back in that same area here in July. We're opening with a gap. Overnight inventory is long. Keep that in mind. But my hypothesis, my simple hypothesis, which may be more difficult to achieve today than we might think it is going to be, is I'm going to be looking to buy weakness. Okay, now, of course, we're going to be good risk managers, but define weakness. When we have an overnight inventory to this degree, sometimes the market will offer us a better trade location. If the buyers don't come in right after the open, right on the open, we can scare some of these overnight longs out of the market, bringing price to a better trade location to look for longs. That could take us all the way back down to a gap close. If we do get a gap close, I'm viewing that as a potential support level for us today, unless we see signs of acceptance back inside range and back inside value from yesterday. This could create a value area special situation opportunity, which could have price come all the way back down to the low of value from yesterday without breaking upside structure. So we know that it's going to be a challenging day. They are all challenging days. We don't have any known information, economic numbers that could throw a curveball into this move to the upside. But we do have a couple of talking Feds that may say something that they don't mean to say. So we have to keep our ears on that. But if we don't have any bad news today, and we get a pullback, and we find a good level for longs, and we stay in profit in those, I'm looking at this as a day that I'm thinking we may just grind higher. Now, we do have the first winning week in process here in 4 weeks. Does it look like there's a whole lot of longs that are really sitting pretty here and thinking about taking some of those longs off for the weekend? I don't see it. So I'm going to be kind of looking at the idea that without bad news, the S&Ps are set to continue to grind higher. They're going to get the short time frame traders short at some time, and then they're going to run it up. And they're going to get the short time frame traders short at some time, and then they're going to run it up. Steve Cannon, not yet. We're still, a substantially greater volume in the September contract. We're looking at probably on Tuesday or Wednesday to change over in the equities to the December contract. Keep coming to the market forecast because we'll be discussing that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And we'll keep an eye on the volume for everybody and let you know when we're changing over. Okay? All right. So a pullback without a gap close is an opportunity to look for a long on a weakness. A pullback to the gap, to close the gap, is also, I'm viewing, an opportunity to look for a long. If we accept in value, then the opportunity to look for longs comes all the way down to the low of value. But again, that's still going to keep an overlapping to higher range and may even keep value overlapping to higher. So I'm kind of sitting here looking for opportunities. Maybe the opening range could provide an opportunity for us. I'll keep an eye on it. I don't like to risk too much on those. Maybe something that we can look at, next week if the opening range works today. We'll take a look at that on the forecast next week. There will be no recap today, as usual, on Fridays. Here's the crude oil. We lost 6,100 contracts on this yesterday. This pullback seems a little bit weak, right? It doesn't seem like it's all that behind it. But now we've seen the dollar fall a little bit, and the dollar falling is making it a little bit cheaper for those that want to buy crude oil using U.S. dollars. So crude oil has gotten a little bump to it here. So a move back to weekly kickoff high, I think, would be a welcome opportunity for traders because it does offer us the opportunity to limit risk. I believe that the downside auction in crude oil is still healthy unless we can find acceptance above that weekly kickoff low, which technically is 86.75. Here's the 30. Let's see what we've got going on here. So we've put in kind of a low here, inside day yesterday. Overnight inventory to the long side doesn't seem to be affecting the short time frame longs here just yet. They're continuing to get paid. What are they looking at? Well, we do have a naked point of control just now above the weekly kickoff high. That looks like a really good target. If I were long, I would be lightening up there and maybe even thinking about a move in the opposite direction. A lot of that, I think, depends on the view of the dollar today. Of course, we have to keep an eye on that. It seems to be affecting all of these commodities and contracts, products as we speak. So, and remember, it's in rollover. So, what do we have as far as balance? Well, we don't really. If we start to form balance down here, we'll call that the rollover range, and we're getting pretty close to the high of it. So I'm cautious about longs up against this level. Unless we can accept above it, then we've got more naked points of control above with which to go looking for. A lot of it, so much of it depends on the view of the demand out of China, which continues to slow. Let's see if we've got the opening range here. Looks like we are still inside the opening range here. So no real momentum, no real confidence in the opening range here just yet. We'll go back and see if there was an opportunity there as we go through the forecast this morning. Here's the Nasdaq, similar but different, of course. Finally, we see some buyers come into the Nasdaq. Yes, the day before we had some short covering, I think, in the Nasdaq. We lost open interest 2 days ago. Yesterday we added approximately 3,700. Not a big amount. We added 10,000, however, in the December contract. So, we lost about 6,200, 6,300 in the September contract. I meant to say we added 10,000 in the December, if I didn't say December. So we did see an increase in open interest. It's in rollover, very just the same as the S&Ps. We're still trading the September contract. Open interest higher, volume open interest, and volume higher. It's a little bit blurred by rollover. Whenever we get this close to rollover, our ability to clearly see what open interest and volume means is a little bit blurry because we're splitting everything between two contracts, and we know that our longer time frame traders are interested in getting a cheap or making money on their rollovers, so their focus becomes a lot less about directional activity and hedging than it does about getting a cheap rollover. There's, in the S&Ps, there's 2.5 million contracts to change. If they do all those on the bid, if they're buying it, they can save themselves 2.5 million ticks. That's a lot of ticks. If they have to buy it and pay the offer, they give up 2.5 million ticks. It's a lot. So we got to remember our longer time frame traders are focused on getting a cheap roll, not directional activity. So a lot of the control is going to be from the short time frame traders. And now we've got our short time frame traders holding longs. Okay, similar situation, overlapping to higher value. We've got a gap to the upside. We're holding overnight longs here, where it looks like we're going to be opening with a gap. And again, I'm looking at a pullback towards the high of the or closing the gap as a possible opportunity to use as a weakness to look for longs. It's not so cut and dry here in the Nasdaq as it is in the S&Ps, because the Nasdaq didn't close as strong as the S&Ps, and we've got value high much further from the high end of the range here. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging, I think, to look for the right opportunity to look for those longs in the Nasdaq. And of course, the opening range is entirely a possibility, but you don't want to risk too much on it. If it's a 60 tick opening range, it's probably going to be too rich for my blood to take. So I'll be looking for opportunities as the day goes on. We're opening out of range and out of balance, similar to the S&Ps. The question is, where is the weakness I need to jump into? Remember, because it's in rollover, a lot of those levels are going to be shorter time frame. The shorter time frame is more likely to be in control than the longer time frame, because of rollover. Take a look at gold. Gold and then our hills. Yes, 9 and 11 is when the Fed speakers are. Thank you, JD. So, all right. We added 800 in open interest. The overlapping, it was a higher low and a higher high yesterday. Would we say that those were new longs, new shorts, or is it kind of inert? I would kind of look at it as somewhat inert. It's an $800 increase in open interest. I think that there's still some cautious buyers here. We've been putting in higher lows, higher highs. I think those buyers are going, I think they need to be a little bit cautious here. We're still kind of in the area of range right now. Okay, if we take a look at the highs of these bars and the lows of these bars, I'm kind of shrinking my range, if you will. Take a look at what happened in the overnight here on the 30-minute chart, if I can find it. There it is. Okay, so a lot of overnight longs. They are currently reconciling. That's kind of what, if we are looking for the opportunity to buy weakness in the S&Ps or the Nasdaq, we've got overnight longs that may reconcile, similar to what's going on here in gold. If we are looking for opportunities to buy weakness in gold, we may have to wait for some sort of structure to set up in the day time frame. But we've got this little swing low here on the 30. We've got all this congestion back here. Does that give you the opportunity to limit risk enough? Not sure. It looks like we've opened in range. We were looking at a gap. We've closed the gap prior. I would call the opening range a little bit, to the downside. I would call the opening call, I would say. But a lot of that is just because we got too long and short time frame. And I'm going to stay patient because we did open in range. See if we can get down near value for a better opportunity to limit risk today. The gold has been a tough market. It has been trying to come up with a word that's more acceptable, but it's been a real piece of work, this market. Just, being patient, waiting for the extremes, I think, has been the only way to really remain profitable in it. Here's the euro with the dollar coming off. We see a nice move higher, but overall, we're still extremely range bound. and short time frame controlled in this market. We did add 19,000 contracts yesterday in the euro. Again, rollover. It's not like we can look at that open interest and think of it as a directional increase. It's an increase due to rollover. We also had high volume in the front month yesterday, probably largely because of rollover. Next Tuesday, next Wednesday, next Monday, whenever the volume rolls over and we get through with rollover, we won't have to worry about it in the currencies or the equities for another 3 months. Still, we deal with it now. We've been range bound. We're still range bound and in short time frame control. So we opened with a gap. We are still holding that gap. The dollar's starting to bounce a little bit. That's probably part of the reason why we're getting this pushback. Also, don't forget the amount of overnight inventory longs in short time frame that we're holding that started to reconcile before the open. You know, if I'm looking for opportunities to buy weakness, say move back to the point two, the gap close could be a good risk limiter. Again, you know, we don't trade to the long side if we've reaccepted the previous day's range. Sometimes that gap close can be just enough to even out inventory and bring buyers into the marketplace. Not going to be trading the euro today unless something really good comes up. Because again, with short time frame control, there's going to be a lot of short time frame levels that might be enticing, but you don't want to get chopped up that way either. Now take a look at the 10-year. Okay, the yield has settled right around 3.25% here. We still have the yield curve inversion. Weekly kickoff has been relatively magnetic over the past 3 days. We've got a nice area of range here. We're kind of centered in the middle of that range, so I'm going to be very patient and try and wait for one of the extremes of the range that we're currently in. We're past rollover in the treasuries. Not something we have to worry about. We added 4,300 in open interest yesterday, which in the 10 years is somewhat moot, somewhat inert. It's not a big jump in open interest for the 10-year. Here's the 30. Okay, settlement. Where did we open last night? We opened last night all the way down here. So we're still holding overnight inventory to the long side, but in range and in value. If we're going to see an adjustment in inventory, I'd like to see the market come back down to weekly kickoff low, yesterday's value area low, and settlement. This looks like a target-rich environment. I'll bet you there's a couple of lunkers hanging around under this pier that we've got here. Couple of nice walleye, couple of nice northerns, maybe even a muskie down there. Point being is, if we are going to fish here, we don't have to lose our rod and reel, only the worm. I'm okay with losing the worm. I don't want to lose my equipment. That would be a dream location for me if we could get back down to this level today. So it's probably unlikely to happen. Natural gas. Yesterday, in inside day, in extended trading hours and regular trading hours, we lost 3,300 in open interest. The interest to the downside certainly seems to be that it is waning. Look at the low volume yesterday. Still trying to figure out what happened in that situation day before yesterday that we looked at on that 1 minute chart. Still have no idea what that was. Does it seem... Here we had a cup and saucer, a cup and handle. Are we creating now a head and shoulders? We'd like to see us get back up to this level, and then we'd know where our neckline is. We'd know where our target would be. That might be something to keep an eye on. Hey, JD, you noticed it. Nice job. Nice job. Yep. So let's look at the 30-minute and we'll get down to business here. Okay, so again, overnight inventory to the long side. Where did we start? Here, prices here. Short time frame buyers. Already perhaps reconciling. We've closed the gap in regular trading hours, although we have not accepted. This low here and this low here offer decent opportunities to limit risk. All right, but be careful. This market is vicious. Here's what I was talking about on that 1 minute chart. What is this? Day before yesterday, before the open. It's 500 ticks. Look at the volume. This is a 1 minute chart. This went on for just a few minutes. 7:03 ended at 7:13. 10 minutes. You could either make a fortune there or just get killed. Very strange activity. Haven't seen it before. All right. So, wanted. So, here's the percent change. If you want to add or change these columns, go over here and hit view settings and then click select columns. These are the ones that are available. These are the ones that you have visible, and you can change them. You can move them. I'm just gonna move this to here. So this is going to be on the left. This is going to be on the right. Here's your percent change, your total change, the symbol. Just save it, and then you'll have it. All right, wanted. So again, it's over here. View settings, select columns. You're welcome. All right. Well, yes, it's my birthday, and if I have a birthday wish, it's going to be for a profitable and easy trading day for everybody. I know that's a lot to ask, but if I could get it, that would be great. Also, say a prayer for peace. Say a prayer for yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Get some rest this weekend. Have some fun this weekend. Have a drink and for my birthday, or whatever you like to do. And trade well today. I will see you Monday morning, bright and early, 7:45 for the market forecast. And blessings to you all. I love you all, and have a great weekend.